This is our Friday coffee break at the First Presbyterian Church of New Jersey. I am Reverend Lynn Capron and
Reverend Mike Capron,
pastor of
First Presbyterian Church of Elmwood Park.
First of all, I just want to take a minute and thank you for those of you who are scheduling watch parties with these coffee breaks. Some of you are adding comments into the comments section. Others of you are liking them. And those of you who are watching, I just wanted to thank you for helping us spread the good news of God's love during this time. Also, I want to let you know how excited I am about this Sunday's service of worship. We have digital ambassadors in our church, Liz and Nicole, and they have taken clips from me, from our director of music, from a lay reader who's also an elder, Beth, and also a surprise collection of clips. And they've put them together, and we'll be posting that on our church website, which is www.Verona Press. And also we'll be putting it here at 10:15 on the Facebook page. If any one of you is watching that is a member of First Presbyterian Church and you would be willing to just put in the comments section the link to our webpage, that would help other people access it. So Mike and I were having breakfast together this morning, and we were discussing the coffee break. And he brought to the table, literally, a story from the Bible about Mary and Martha.
Yeah.
And we both agreed that there are some people right now that are being asked by their life to be too much of a Mary. They're not used to sitting still for a long period of time. And so they're having to sit quietly and listen. And there are two other people who are being asked by the circumstances of their life to be too much of a Martha. They have too much to do because of just the way things have fallen out. And so we just went through the story and noticed some things that might help all of us in this time. Mike, you want to start? And we'll just jump in with comments as we go along.
Okay. Luke 10, verses 38 to 42. As Jesus and his disciples were on their way, he came to a village where a woman named Martha opened her home to him.
Wow, Mike, right away, I got to think of the extroverts in my life who would love to be able to open their home to somebody.
And you can't do that right now.
And you can't do that right now. So I already know most of those people that I know personally are finding other ways to open themselves to other people. But let's go on with the story and see what happens next.
So Martha had a sister named Mary who sat at the Lord's feet listening to what he said.
Okay, wait. I got to interrupt you again. Okay, so, this is hard for some of us to do, right? How do you sit quietly and listen at Jesus' feet when you would rather be entertaining people? And I guess prayer is really the way we do it.
Well, yeah, I think we, first of all, I think talking is kind of destructive to the notion of listening.
Mm-hmm.
And, there's got to be a certain level of quiet to be able to hear what God may have in mind for us.
Well, and maybe with that cue, I will be quiet and let you finish reading the story.
I was so subtle. Okay. So Mary's listening to Jesus, but Martha was distracted by all the preparations that had to be made. She came to Jesus and asked, "Lord, don't you care that my sister has left me to do all the work by myself? Tell her to help me." "Martha, Martha," the Lord answered, "you are worried and upset about many things, but few things are needed, or indeed only one. Mary has chosen what is better, and it will not be taken away from her."
So if you are in a situation where, you would normally be out doing things and you just can't, trying to make the world a better place, know that you're sitting and listening and praying and reading scripture and trying to access the best that you can, what God is trying to lead you to right now. That is the best thing, and God will use that.
In fact, in some ways, that's the difficult or revolutionary thing. Some scholars who read this passage believe that Mary went from the female space of the kitchen to the men's space, who were studying, works of religion about God, and that she kind of violated a boundary by doing that. So in some ways, she comes off as the passive party here and compared to Martha, but in some ways, she's the kind of active revolutionary who's doing the thing that's hard.
Yeah, and so these things are being turned on their head right now as we're all just trying to be faithful in this moment. Today, and one of the responses, oddly enough, that I have to this story is I am really growing in my concern about the fact that so many people are losing their jobs. And there's a part of me that wants to just go out and do something about it. And as my husband has reminded me, that's somewhat above my pay grade, but it is not above God's pay grade. And we need to strengthen ourselves so that when there is something we can do, whatever that may be, about these kinds of problems, we have the strength and the wherewithal to do what we can. And so my heart, I am looking for people to pray with me about people who are losing their jobs, about how the church can respond to that situation moving into the next months together. I don't know what the answers are in being the Martha about all of that. Oh, Riley's come over to say hello. This is Riley. He wanted to come over and say hello. And so anyway, I don't know how the church is going to be Martha about job loss and the economy and things like that. There are some things we're doing, but I know in the future there are going to be many more. So I guess as we leave from this place, it's that turning from being a Mary and listening and being filled with God's Spirit, and then looking for that right moment and that right opportunity when there is a Martha moment when we act. And I know we're all in different balance of that together. So may God bless us all as we listen and access the power and the grace and the presence of God, and then look for that way that we can act through that power. God bless you all. Bye-bye.